I think creativity and people's illusions and the way they think in this world now is great to have on paper and on canvas, and it creates this whole vibe and this unique environment for people to see and enjoy.
I think it thrives when people really embrace the individualism of each artist and allowing people to express themselves. And when people are open to that, to the expression, I think it really creates for great art and understanding between people and the artist and the consumer. So.
I think art is thriving in today's society because I feel like, especially like in recent years, like a lot of people need an outlet just to like with like frustrations or like everything that's been going on, and I think art is a really good provider of that. And I think that in like all like the bad news and stuff and all this stuff going on, it's like a lot of people like to look at it, and it's just like a good outlet for people who make it and for people who consume it.
Quite frankly, I'm amazed that art's surviving and thriving because I am so tempted by my smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at Dan, who didn't have that, and he was constantly creating. But the fact, if you look around, people are creating magical things all over the world, and it's represented at this show. So I believe that that creative impulse that we all have, you cannot deny it. It bubbles forth, and you just have to, somehow express it.
I feel it is thriving in our society by graffiti art, murals in the public places. That's where most people will see it and can actually feel it.
Street art, I feel, is becoming more accepted. It used to be looked down upon by most of society. I feel like everyone's starting to accept it a bit more and embrace it a bit more, all the different types and styles and everything.
When you're an artist, you're pretty much part of the old world. You're still doing something that cannot really be replicated into the digital world. When you do a painting, when you do a photograph, it's still very alive. It's physical. I used to do, and I'm still doing some, but I used to be a musician and do a lot of music, and that's not in your hand. You cannot materialize music. It becomes digital, and then it's not yours anymore. It just goes all over the world, and people listen to it, and you can have absolutely no control over it. A picture, it's different. I mean, you can see it, but the idea of painting something with your hand, it's definitely something that the digital world cannot take from you.
Sportswear, apparel. I mean, you'll see hats, shirts all over the place. That's all art, and especially in LA. I mean, art's all over the place, and all over the walls of buildings and commercials and all over media. So it's really thriving.
I am in a fast-paced world, and so my technique itself is based on a single stroke. And so the idea is that being able to use these single strokes repetitively allows me to be able to evolve within the fast-paced world, because I know, as in a digital world, everything is now. And if I can just paint really quickly, then I can keep up.
I think that art is getting a little bit lost. And I think that art is not fully being appreciated in many ways. I think that people are seeing the quick and the hot colors and the fast little things that are just kind of snappy to their eye. And I don't know that they're appreciating some of the finer art and some of the finer techniques and the fine artists. So I think it's a lot of it is being lost on people today, and I think that's a little bit sad. And I would hope that there's actually better education for people so that they could take their time and understand and have a better understanding and appreciation.
I think it has everything to do with social media and Instagram specifically. It's such a visual medium, and artists have really been able to put their art out there and have people access it.
I think that people have more time that they can contribute. They have cameras in their phones now, and I think people are becoming more aware of it, and they enjoy it.
I think it definitely depends on where you are and what events are occurring around you, and whether you have access to things like this convention center with this event going on. Like in LA, you have so much art around you, but there's a lot of places in the world that are barren.